The headlines. Gemma Arias-Vasquez takes the next step towards becoming Gibraltar's first female chief minister. Nigel Feetham to take up a new role as the government's number 3. Fabian Picardo vows to lend his support to his 2 party colleagues in their new journeys. In other news, a fire guts a Ocean Village flat early in the morning. And the jury hears from a second complainant in the Supreme Court. Good evening. Gemma Arias-Vasquez is well on the way to becoming Gibraltar's first female chief minister. She's expected to stand uncontested for the GSLP leadership once Fabian Picardo decides to step down. This has been confirmed in a joint statement with Nigel Feetham, who said he had decided not to put his name forward after careful reflection and would instead be supporting Ms. Arias-Vasquez. Party leader Fabian Picardo said he was lending his support to 2 of his party's leading lights.
So today I've declared an intention to stand, and that is a huge step, particularly as women are sometimes not very enthusiastic about putting our names forward. But I always tell young girls that they've got to take that step, they've got to take that leap. So I think it's about time that I practice what I preach and put my own name forward. So it's very, very exciting and also slightly daunting.
Gemma Arias-Vasquez and Nigel Feetham were introduced by party leader Fabian Picardo, who welcomed the fact that both party members would stand together.
I'm really happy to see that what I might call the 2 leading lights for the contention to lead the party into the future have announced that they have come to terms that one of them will take the step to seek the leadership of the party and that the other will support her.
He said that if elected by the party membership, they would be able to focus on the things that the public and the party members wanted to see: housing, high standards of public services and employment. This, he said, was a lesson on how to do things in the interest of the people of Gibraltar. And it was an emotional Fabian Picardo who spoke of his time of departure as party leader getting nearer and the likelihood of Gibraltar's first woman chief minister coming from his party.
The last things I would say today is that this may be a small step for Gemma. But it's going to be a huge step for women in Gibraltar.
So I put my name forward today to be party leader of the Gibraltar Socialist Labour Party. That is me putting my name forward to the party members. They then take a vote and they then decide who becomes their party leader. Once an individual becomes a party leader, that party leader then would lead the government ordinarily. So that's why there's a link between party leader and chief minister.
And we know, of course, that Fabian Picardo is not standing as leader of the party. We don't know what he's going to be doing next.
That's right. Fabian Picardo has said on numerous occasions now that he will not be standing as leader of the party. And prior to that, I was very hesitant to state any intention because my view was that there wasn't a vacancy. But now that he is saying it quite repeatedly, I took the view that I did want to put my name forward.
So we can imagine, we can assume, although you will assume nothing, but I can assume that Fabian Picardo will stay in Parliament. You don't have the numbers. You would spark an election, a by-election. I can assume that he would stay in Parliament perhaps as a backbencher.
That's right. He could stay in Parliament as a backbencher, but one thing I have learnt in 2.5 years is to take nothing for granted and to take one step at a time. So what I'm doing today is that I'm putting my name forward for the members of the GSLP to vote for me in the next AGM as party leader.
There has been a lot of jostling between you and Mr. Feetham for top dog. How has this come about?
I don't think there's actually been any jostling between us. We've always had a very strong relationship and we both are very aware of each other's strengths. So Nigel is very strong on matters of the economy. Nigel has brought in more tax, for example, than anyone prior to him. So we are both very aware of our strengths. One thing that we are also very conscious of is that unity is key, and that there is, in the immortal words of Joe Cox, blocks. There is far more than unites us than that which divides us. There is strength in coming together as a team, and that is in fact what we are doing. We are here putting ourselves forward for the party to vote for us as a joint ticket, because we think that that is a far stronger position, and it puts it in a far better position so that we can start thinking about the next election and our policies together.
How do you think you'll get past the party's wear and tear after 15 years and convince the electorate that it's not more of the same?
We're a very different team, or we would be a very different team. So even the change at the party leader echelon itself is a very different state. So we would be looking to make that change ourselves internally and persuade the electorate that actually it is the same core values the GSLP has always had, but which have evolved for 2026. So it is a ticket of continuity, because we'd have some members that have been there for a longer period, but it's also one of change within the party with a different way of politics being carried out.
What would you say to people who'd say that you're too new and inexperienced?
I'd say that for the past 2.5 years, I've carried half the budget of the government. I'd ask them to look at my record in those 2.5 years and to judge on my record what I have done. I have taken on some portfolios which are huge portfolios, including the Gibraltar Health Authority, the business portfolio, and the care agency. They're enormous portfolios, as well as the utilities. And I believe I have made a change there, a positive change there. So I'd ask people to look at my record.
Mr. Feetham, Mrs. Arias-Vasquez says that suggestions of division were always misguided. And yet you've made comments in the past that Mr. Brigado favoured her, describing this as unfair and saying you believed you had the widest electoral appeal. What's changed?
Well, let me say that I'm very excited about the future of the party and indeed the future for Gibraltar. We have chosen unity over division. We have chosen unity of leadership and indeed unity of purpose. Gemma and I have been working very closely together within the cabinet and indeed as government ministers, particularly so over the last 3 months. And when you engage with people on a one-to-one, you see people's humanity. You see the human side of people. And it was a natural conversation that we had together, and I can remember very clearly exactly where it happened. And I said to Gemma, I want to support you as the next leader of the GSLP. Gemma has the qualities required to lead this community. I have absolutely no doubt that that is the case. But I was struck by Gemma's immediate response. Gemma said to me, Nigel, I want you to be there with me. I won't do it without you. And therefore, the conversations progressed around what is in the best interest of Gibraltar, not what is in the best interest of any particular candidate. And I tell you what, when you reference the interview that you've rightly referenced, which was a year ago, I also said that I would consider putting my name forward, but I would only do so if it was in the best interest of the party. The party leader, and indeed the chief minister, has said today in very clear terms that he intends to call an AGM of the party no later than the end of this year. In fact, he's actually said November or December. He's also said that we could be a year away from a general election. A year away from a general election is not the time to divide the party. We have seen what divisions have done to the other side, politically of course, namely the GSD. We will not make the same mistakes of our political opponents because we are the natural party of government. We deliver for the people of Gibraltar. Therefore, every conversation that Gemma and I have had, and indeed every conversation that we will have over the next 15 months before that general election, is how can we deliver for the people and indeed winning the next general election.
Mr. Feetham, having said all that, how much were you swayed by the fact that you've been offered a bespoke role as Vice Deputy Chief Minister?
I wasn't swayed by that at all. In fact, I offered my support to Gemma without any horse trading. It was Gemma that offered the Vice Deputy Chief Minister to me, if indeed she does get elected as party leader. And she's made it absolutely clear that anyone can stand for election as party leader. I expect, of course, that Gemma will rightly take her place as party leader at the AGM, and at that stage she has confirmed that she will be appointing me as Vice Deputy Chief Minister. But more importantly for me, Christine, is the work that I'm doing for the economy. Without a strong economy, nothing else matters.
What we are now clearer as to what is most likely to happen is that by the end of the year, we will have a new Chief Minister. Jose Garcia will remain Deputy Chief Minister and Nigel Feetham will be in post as Vice Deputy Chief Minister. But 2027 will bring with it elections, and all indications are that it's all to play for. The political starting gun has gone off, and all parties will want to be ready for the race.
Now on to other news. An early morning fire in a flat at Ocean Spa Plaza was linked to an air conditioning unit on the balcony, the Fire and Rescue Service has told GBC. No injuries were reported. Most of the building's residents were evacuated by police soon after the fire broke out, including 2 people who were in the apartment where the fire started. They were later able to return to their homes and the surrounding roads reopened. Senior Duty Officer Edgar Ramirez spoke to our reporter Cristina Cortez on the scene.
Around 6:30 in the morning, 6:37, we had a number of calls actually coming in, reporting a fire in Ocean Spa Plaza. There was a little bit of confusion at first on the actual floor number. Eventually we sussed it out that it was on the 14th floor. Immediately 3 appliances, which is part of our response to a high-rise fire or a fire of this type, was instigated. So 3 appliances were turned out, and upon arrival the incident commander on scene instigated again the high-rise procedures, which means sending people up to the fire floor to investigate and then to establish what we determine is a bridgehead, which is like a kind of forward control from where the scene of operations now is managed.
And this also involved the evacuation of the building's residents, so can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. Normally, buildings of this nature have a stay-put policy in place, but on arrival, we found that residents were already being evacuated by RGP, who got here slightly before us, and everyone was eventually sent to the Sanborn, who thankfully facilitated the hotel to accommodate the residents whilst the incident was ongoing.
And in terms of the flats or flats affected, were those occupied? And you've said there were no casualties. Have there been any injuries?
No injuries reported at the time of the incident. As far as I'm aware, no injuries subsequent to that. There were 2 residents in the flat in question at the time of the fire, but they were also evacuated just before our arrival. And
is there any idea of what might have caused the fire?
We determined that it's linked to the air conditioning unit situated in the balcony, and that was where the main focus of our operations were at the time of arrival.
And in terms of that, is there any sort of advice that you can give regarding people who might have air conditioning units or might be concerned about it now? Is it a question of checking the electrics?
Exactly, it's a question of checking your electrics, having regular maintenance to all electrical installations, ensuring that fire alarms work, and basically be savvy in terms of balcony furniture and not leaving any unnecessary materials lying around.
And in terms of the materials, obviously, post the Grenfell tragedy, one of the questions that's always asked is about the building materials involved. Is there any concern over the materials that caught fire in this fire?
No, not in this particular case, although spectacular as the images on social media doing the rounds look like. The fire was confined to the balcony area alone. Obviously, there is smoke travel into the premises and the properties, but that was quickly taken care of.
And also, again, in terms of it being a tall building, what issues are there with access? Was access an issue in this particular incident?
Yes, a building of this nature in its entirety will prove or pose challenges to us. In this particular case, we insist on having certain things in place for our own safety as well as the safety of the residents. It always is a challenge, but procedures are in place for us to be able to mitigate the impact of an incident of this nature.
And monitoring continues. I imagine the investigation continues. What can you tell us about what happens next?
Well, as far as the fire and rescue service is concerned, obviously our fire safety department is always available to assist in whatever queries may arise, as well as obviously should there be any criminality suspected, which in this case I can assure the public that there isn't. But in this particular instance, as far as the fire and rescue service is concerned, we handed over the property or the scene to the building management, and it's up to them now to put in place any remedial works which are being taken care of as we speak.
The jury in the Clayton Bustos sexual abuse trial has heard live evidence from the second complainant referred to in court as Mr. X. The former teacher and scout leader faces 19 counts of sexual offences against children dating from 2007 to 2016. 5 of the charges relate to Mr. X. He denies all charges.
Mr. X described Mr. Bustos as a monster and alleged the former teacher sent him sexual images on social media when he was 17. He also told the court the defendant asked him to send sexual images in return, but said he never did. During cross-examination, defence lawyer Chris Finch-Marsh asked Mr. X what had changed between 2016, when the alleged incidents took place, and 2023, when he spoke to the police. Mr. X said his understanding of what had happened had changed. He said he always knew the defendant's behaviour was not right, but because of their relationship, he brushed it off. He told the court he should have spoken up earlier, but had not come to terms with it himself, adding that he was young and unaware of the dangers. Mr. Finch-Marsh asked the complainant if he had discussed details of the case with another complainant, referred to in court as Mr. Z, and agreed to join together in an attack on Clayton Bustos. Mr. X replied, never.
You're watching GBC News, still to come. The Mayor recognises young people who are going through difficult times with the Brave Heart Awards. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back. Established by former Mayor Carmen Gomez, the Brave Hearts Awards recognises young people who are going through difficult times. The families of this year's Brave Hearts recipients were invited to an award ceremony at the Mayor's Parlour.
7 brave hearts were celebrated at the ceremony for resilience and courage during difficult times. Deputy Mayor Andrea Simpson presented the awards, thanking the former Mayor Carmen Gomez for creating the initiative last year. From youngest to oldest, the young people and their families were visibly moved and excited to have been recognised. We asked the Deputy Mayor how she felt after having seen the recipients at the ceremony.
Absolutely honoured and privileged to share this such a special award, thanks to Carmen, who was the architect and is the architect of this incredible celebration of younger children in our community that have gone through adversity, probably still going through adversity, but showing resilience and courage. So I would like to say also I'm very emotional. I'm trying to hold back the tears, and I was at the awards, but it's just undescribable, really, and how composed they are and how grateful they are. And sometimes, most of them probably don't even know what this is for, but it's beautiful to have for the near future when they are older and they look back and, you know, they've been recognized.
How does it feel to see that something that you started is continuing? I'm over the moon because the mayor's calendar is something that the mayor sets out himself or herself. And the fact that our mayor at present asked me to come and be part of it, I was thrilled, absolutely thrilled. I'm very happy that this will be a date for the future. These children are so amazing, and it's a shame that they've been in the background, that nobody knows about them. And now they do. They know that there are children in our midst who have been very well looked after, not only by their parents who give them a lot of support, but the professionals around them. And I think we must give thanks for this, and also that they're not going, it's not fun being sick. And it costs me to say you're now proud members of a very special family, because it is a very special family, maybe one that they wouldn't want to be part of, but at least seeing how they're poorly, I think it will give them a little extra confidence and hope for the future.
And how inspirational is it to pick up on something that is so emotional and so family-based?
It's very overwhelming, as I said, and I was speaking to Carmen and, of course, to Nikki, our present mayor, that this is something we will continue, definitely. Through my tenure, when I become the mayor, I will definitely carry on with this, which is probably one of the most, I don't know how, I mean, you probably agree, most heartfelt, probably ceremony that we have.
I couldn't have said it better, yes. Andrea, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
A list of Brave Hearts Awards recipients can be found on our website.
Young Enterprise Gibraltar winners My Mind Matters have come third in the national competition in the UK. The group of teenagers, whose specialised book is designed to support children's mental health, made an impression at the finals held in Cardiff last night. This was the moment the announcement was made.
So in third place is My Mind Matters.
Congratulations to the team from the college there. Now, the Special Olympics bowling team has returned from representing Gibraltar at the Switzerland National Summer Games with multiple medals in tow. The bowlers won gold in the team event, as well as picking up more silverware in the singles and doubles. Kellyanne Borge spoke to the squad on Gibraltar today and first asked to hear which events they were competing in.
I can show you this gold medal. I beat one of the best bowlers who was hungry to get so many strikes in a row, but I managed to get 4 strikes in a row, which I beat him, and the rest 7 players, maybe more.
That's amazing, well done.
Yeah, and I reached the highest score in 2-4, playing for 3 games, 402 in total. Well, and the other medal, me and my friend Adam, we teamed up in a doubles, and well, here I didn't expect, and well, we participate, we tried hard our best,
third place,
and coming third place. Wow, it's amazing. And then the last one, which I got a gold medal, I teamed up between me, Glenn Wimbledon, Shane Martinez. We participate and we reach at the very top, coming first place.
Adam, how did you find the competition? Did you expect to win, or was it a surprise?
I'm thinking that was amazing. I'm proud to be part of the Gibraltar team with Wesley. He's the best coach.
What do you think about that, Leslie? Best coach?
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, they're very disciplined in what they do, I mean, because they love the sport, I mean, and they've improved so much.
Glenn, Shane, do you see yourself bowling more in the future? Has this kind of motivated you to carry on?
I train every Wednesdays at 5 o'clock on Leslie, and all the team with Shane, Dennis, Adam Stewart and JD Rugders, and we train what I can to train about the Gibraltar, about train Gibraltar, about their medals, soon I can Gibraltar.
Shane, how did you enjoy the competition? Have you been to competitions like this before?
Yes, but I did good well and I played bowling well. But all the teams, I did good well. JD, Adam, Klein and me, I did good well today for the medals. And but they're not good well from the bowling, but not good today.
And congratulations to them as well. That's all for tonight's news. More online and on our socials, as well as on our Radio Gibraltar news summaries on the hour, every hour, as from 7 in the morning. From the team and myself, thank you very much for watching. Good night.